Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Then we will continue to discuss about Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. The Buddha's last days, part 19. The Buddha is going to take his final Parinibbāna, going to attain final Parinibbāna, Khanda Parinibbāna. The Buddha was lying down on small bed in the Sala group, Sala garden, near the Manla city, Kusinara cities. At that time, Venerable Upawana, Venerable Upawana Theras, Arahanta was fanning the Buddha by standing, fanning the Buddha in front of, fanning in front of the Buddha by standing. At that time, the Buddha asked Venerable Upawanas to go away. Abehi Beku Mame Purato Atasi. Upawana, Beku, please go away. Don't stand near me. Oh, in this way, is it? Don't stand in front of me. When the Buddha asked Venerable Upawanas to go away, not to stand in front of the Buddha, then Venerable Ananda was confused with this one. Venerable Upawana was the Buddha, one of the Buddha's attendants before Venerable Ananda. Is it? Before Venerable Ananda, we call the first body, Patama body, during the 20 Vasa of the Buddha. There was no permanent attendant of the Buddha. Sometimes Venerable Upawana was the Buddha's attendant. Sometimes Venerable Chonda was the Buddha's attendant. Sometimes Venerable Nagasamala Thera was the Buddha's attendant. Sometimes Venerable Mekiya was the Buddha's attendant. So there are many Buddha's attendants, bhikkhus, during the 20 Vasa, the first 20 Vasa of the Buddha. Then Venerable Upawana was also the Buddha's attendant. He was Buddha's attendant for sometimes during the first body. That is why Venerable Ananda have some confusions in his mind. Why he was the Buddha's attendant for a long time. When the Buddha asked him to go away, then because of this reason, Venerable Ananda asked the Buddhas, Bande, Venerable Upawana Thera was the Buddha Bande's attendant for a long time. He took care of you by giving his service to you for a long time. Why he asked him to go away when you nearly attain final Parinibbāna? At that time, the Buddha explains. The Buddha explains Venerable Ananda. There are many Deva and Brahmas around me. Is it? Around me. In, Sala group, Sala garden, from Sala garden, around 12 yojanas. 12 yojana is, for example, one yojana about 10 miles. Sunset 8 miles, sunset 12 miles. For example, 10 miles. Then 12 yojana, how many miles? 120 miles. around 120 miles. There are full of Brahma and Deva came from 10 world systems to pay respect to the Buddhas as last chance. That is why when they came to the Buddha to pay respect as their last opportunity, then they are not happy with Venerable Upavana. Why? Venerable Upavana was standing. Venerable Upavana was standing in front of the Buddha. Then they want to see the Buddha's appearance. They want to pay homage to the Buddha respectfully. Then because of Venerable Upavana, then they cannot seize the Buddha. Is it? That is why they are not happy with this Venerable Upavana. Why Venerable Upavana is standing in front of the Buddha? We came here to pay homage to the Buddha as last times. Is it? Last chance, last opportunity. Because of Upavana, we cannot see the Buddha or something like this. Because of this reason, then the Buddha asked Venerable Upavana to go away, not to stand in front of him. The Buddha explains to Venerable Ananda. At that time, Venerable Ananda understood the reasons to ask Venerable Upavana to go away, not to stand in front of the Buddha. Is it? Then you see, most of the Brahma and Deva from the 10 world systems came to the Buddhas to pay homage to the Buddha that times. Most of the Brahma and Deva, almost. Then many Brahma and Deva came to the Buddha to pay homage. How they stand there within this about 120 miles, is it? Then they create their body, very small body. They create very small body. Then some Deva, only Asinyasata Brahma and Arba Brahma cannot come, couldn't come there to pay homage. The Asinyasa Brahma only just Rupa, Arba Brahma only just Nama. They are in there, the unsuitable place. They have no opportunities to pay homage to the Buddha. Although the Buddha appear in the world, they have no opportunities to listen to the Dhamma, something like this. That is why they are not included in those audience, those congregations. So although many Deva and Brahmas came down to pay homage to the Buddha, then how they stayed near the Buddha? They create a very small body. Then some are 10 Devas together, or 10 Deva together, they are standing near the Buddha. Then some are 10 Deva, 10 group of Deva and Brahmas. Then after that, another 20 group. Then 30 Brahmas together, many group. Then 40, 50, 60, etc. Many group of Devas create small bodies and create many small bodies, and they stay together by standing. At that times, although there are many Deva and Brahmas around the Buddha, because of their power, they don't touch each other by hand to hand or by body to body. Even they don't touch each other with their clothes, their dress, etc. Then they are standing around the Buddha. Then Venerable Upavana is Arahanta. Venerable Upavana is Arahanta. Originally, his body is also quite fat. Is it? Quite fat. That is why when he was standing in front of the Buddha, then many Deva and Brahmas cannot seize the Buddha. Why? Why cannot seize the Buddha? They cannot penetrate. They cannot penetrate the Venerable Upavana's body with their power. Venerable Upavana was Arahanta. So Deva and Brahmas can penetrate through the Puthojana's body, ordinary person's body. Even they may be able to penetrate, maybe like Sotapanna, etc. Their body, they will be able to penetrate, but they cannot penetrate through the Arhanta's body. If the Venerable Upavana is a Puthojana ordinary bhikkhu, sure, they can, although he is standing in front of the Buddha, or they can see the Buddha by penetrating through his body. But he is Arahanta, one of the Arahanta. That is why they cannot penetrate through the Upavana's body. That is when they are not happy with this condition. One thing is a Venerable Upavana is also not normal Arahanta. He is very powerful Arahanta. He is very powerful Arahanta, not like other Arahantas. No, there are also many Arahanta, but Venerable Upavana is a special Arahanta in power. That is why they cannot penetrate through Venerable Upavana's body to see the Buddha. What is the reasons? Venerable Upananda has very why the Venerable Upananda is powerful? He was the guardian Deva of Kassapa Sammasan Buddha's relic Jitiyas. Or he accumulated kusala that time because of this reason. The story mentions in commentary. I will also explain a little bit. During the Vipassi Buddha times, when the Vipassi Buddha attained final Parinibbāna, then, if the Buddha lifespan is very long, then many relics didn't remain. Only just one relic remained. Relics, the body relics remained in the world. Then many of his disciples, human beings, Deva and Brahmas, build Chetiyas for Buddha's relics. Then if they are, if the Buddha appear during the long lifespan of human being, then they only just make one relic Chetiya. They don't make many pagoda or stupa, Chetiya, like here nowadays. So there are many Chetiyas. You can go to India, there are also Chetiya. You can go to the Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, etc. There are many Chetiyas for the relics of the Buddha or relics of Arahanta, etc. But during the long lifespan of human being, the Buddha also appear. Their lifespan is also very long. Then when they take their final Parinibbāna, then they remain only one relic. Then they also make only just one Cetiya. But this Cetiya is a very tall Cetiya, very tall Cetiya. Then when Kassapa Buddha took his final Parinibbāna, then they also build one relic Cetiya, 7 yojanas tall and 7 yojanas bed, Cetiya. Then all human beings, they make the Cetiya with the golden brick, etc. Then about 1 yojana. Then another Deva, Deva from the ground, they also build another 1 yojana in this Cetiya. Then another Deva from the sky, they also make one yojana. Then another deva from another runs about Onawalahaka. Then another types of deva. They also make one yojana. Another types of deva, they also make one yojana. Then Chadumarajika deva also build one yojana. Then Tawarinda deva also build one yojana. Altogether 7 yojana. Or at that times, many human beings wanted to offer the flower and fragrance to this relics Jitiyas or Vipassi Buddha. Then they go and offer. There was also one guardian deva of the relics Jitiya. Then when the people comes, taking the robe and flower, and also fragrance, etc. At that time, they will show his body and took the flower, robe, etc. Then he offer the relics Jitiyas instead of the human being. Then human being also could see the deva. He is offering their donations to relics Buddha. That time they are very happy. During these times, Upavanatera was one of the Brahmana from rich family. Then when he saw this condition, then he also brought the yellow color robes to offer to relics Jitiya. At that time, the guardian deva took this robe and offered to the Buddha in front of him. Then he was very happy with this condition. Then he also made an aspiration. I also wish to be like guardian deva, like this deva in the future. Or because of his aspirations, then when he passed away from this life, then he became deva. Sometimes he became human being, etc. In the realm of samsara. Finally, Kassapa Buddha appeared in this world. Then Kassapa Buddha also attained his final Parinibbāna 20,000 years of his lifespan. Is it? After taking his final Parinibbāna, then also only one relic, body relics remain in the world. Then many human beings and deva also build relics Jitiyas for Kassapa Buddha. That times, according to his wishes, the Upavana to be became guardian deva and Kassapa Buddha's relics. Many human beings want to offer robe, flower, fragrance to Kassapa Buddha's relics at the time. Then Upavana offer those donations to the Kassapa Buddha's relics Jitiya by showing his body. Then he was happy with this kusala. Because of this reason, then he also passed away from this deva life. Then later, then our Buddhas appear in this world. Then he also became human being in one, Brahmana family. Finally, he renounced the world and he was ordained as a bhikkhu, then practiced meditation according to his fulfillment of 10 paramis. Then he became Arahanta. Because of this reason, because of his past kusala, then he is very powerful. So, although Brahma and Deva have their own power, then they cannot penetrate through the Upavana's Thera's body. Then Deva and Brahmas can penetrate the ordinary human being's body. They can penetrate through their body, they can see the other side. Is it? Then they cannot prevent the Deva and Brahmas not to see with their body, not to see. But Upavana Thera is very powerful. That is why when he was standing in front of the Buddha, then Deva and Brahma cannot see the Buddha because of his body. Then the Buddha explains to Venerable Ananda. Then, when the Buddha explains to Venerable Ananda, at that time, Venerable Ananda also want to know how Deva and Brahmas are living, how they are happening. Why? Venerable Ananda is a Sotapanna. He at that time he didn't have any psychic power yet. That is why he couldn't see Deva and Brahma. Is it? He couldn't see Deva and Brahma. That is why he also asked the Buddhas, Bhante, how Deva and Brahmas are happening here like this. Then the Buddha also explained, some are standing in the sky by creating the ground in the sky. Some are standing on the ground, the normal grounds. Normal grounds mean when they stand on the ground without creating, then what happens? Their body is very subtle. That is when their body sink into the ground. There are also some stories, something like this. Even one Brahma, Hataka Brahma, came down to the Buddhas to pay homage. Then he stood on the ground without creating. At that time, his body sank into the earth. Then the Buddha gave one wish to him. Then you should create your body to be gross. Then you will be able to stand on the ground without sinking into the earth. Then the Buddha gave this way. Then he also create his body to be gross. Then he can stand there. In the same way, Sun, Deva, and Brahmas create their body as gross body. Then they also stood on the ground in this way. Then some are in the sky. Then what happened? They are crying. They are crying sadly. They are crying loudly. How they shout loudly. Ati Kaipan Bhagawa Prinebha Yesati, Ati Kaipan Sugato Prinebha Yesati, Ati Kaipan Sekong Loki, Andrata Yesati. The Buddha will attain final Prinebhana very, very quickly. The Buddha will take his final Prinebhana very, very quickly. Then, Dhamma eyes will disappear from the wall quickly, or by shouting in this way. They are crying loudly. Or the Buddha says, crying loudly means usually only just some Puddhojana, Deva, some, the Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Deva only. But Anagami and Arahanta, since they attain Anagami Mega, they destroy the dosa. That is when they have no dosa kilesa. Although someone passes away, then they don't cry. They don't have any dosa. They feel the sense of urgency, the religious emotion. They aroused the sense of urgencies only, samvega only. They will not cry. Then what will happen? Anicca Sankhara Tankuteta Labha. All formation, conditionless formations are anicca, impermanent. Although we don't want the formations not to disappear, that it is impossible to wish, but it is impossible to desire, or they reflect in this way. That is why Anagami Deva Brahma and Arahanta Deva Brahma will not cry, although the Buddha will take final Prinebhana. Is it? Then after this is the story of Upavana Thera. Then Venerable Ananda continued to ask the Buddha. Bhante, previously many people came to pay homage to the Buddha. At that time, Venerable Ananda was very happy to give service to those bhikkhu. If senior bhikkhu comes to the Buddha to pay homage, then what happens? Then he also welcomes to those bhikkhu. Then he also prepares the accommodation. He also gives the water, the small duty and bad duties to those senior bhikkhu to pay homage. Then Venerable Ananda also have conversation with those bhikkhus. When junior bhikkhu came to the Buddhas to pay homage to the Buddha, at that time also Venerable Ananda arranged everything. Is it? He was happy with those bhikkhus. Then why? During the Buddha times, before spending wasa, many bhikkhus came to the Buddhas to take the instruction of meditation practice from the Buddha. Then after receiving the instruction of meditation practice from the Buddha, then they went to the suitable place to spend their wasa. Then they practice meditation diligently. Most of the times during the wasa, they also attain Nibbana, etc. Some become Sotapanna, some become Sagatagami, Anagami, even some become Arahanta. At the end of the wasa, then they also approach the Buddha again. Then what will happen? Then they also inform their attainments to the Buddha. One day I attain Arata Megha during this wasa, etc. At that time, Venerable Ananda was very happy to do their to give his service to those bhikkhus. Then he also welcomes to those bhikkhus. Then he also approached them and have conversation with them. Then he also prepared accommodations, food, etc. Because of this reason, he was very happy. But now when the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna, then no bhikkhu will come to the Buddha. Then how should we do Bhante? Something like this, is it? He was also unhappy. Venerable Ananda was unhappy. He was still Sotapanna now, is it? Then he will not have these opportunities. Then at that time, the Buddha gave, 4 places. This arouses emotion or the samvega. This arouses samvega. The sense of urgency or arouse emotion, arouse comprehension, etc. Then what are they? If they are devotee of the Buddha, if they are Buddhist, they have strong faith in the Buddha's dispensation, then they should go to this 4 places, 4 places of pilgrimage, pilgrimage. 4 places of pilgrimage. Then to pay homage to the Buddha in these 4 places, then they will feel sense of urgency, samvega. They will arouse religious emotion or comprehensions in their mind. That is why the Buddha also explains to Venerable Ananda, there are 4 places this can arouse the samvega. Then if they are Buddhist, if they have Saddha, faith in the Buddha's dispensation, the Buddha's instruction, they should visit these 4 places. What are they? Number 1, you see, Ida Tathagato Jato. Where? Ida Tathagato Jato, number 1. Samvejaniya, Ida Tathagato Jato di Ananda, Saddhasa Kula Buddhasa, Dasaniyan, Samvejaniyan Thanan. Samvejaniyan Thana. Where? Ida Tathagato Jato, Tathagato Jato, the blessed one's birth. This one is a Lumbini. Lumbini place in Nepal country. Then Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka and Upasika of the Buddha should go to these places or should visit these places. to arouse Samvega. Okay, the first one is a Lumbini, Lumbini in Nepal country. Then they should go to this place to pay homage to the Buddha. Then when they arrive there, what will happen? Oh, the Buddha was born. The Buddha was born in this place. Now Buddha took and Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. Then even the Buddha also took his final Parinibbāna. The Buddha disappeared from the world. Is it? Then we will also pass away one day. We will also die one day. Then they will feel the sense of urgency in their mind. But that is why, because of this benefit, all bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika, Buddhists who have faith in the Buddha's dispensation, they should go to this place. Is it? Should visit this place. Then if you have never been to this place, then you should go and you should visit this place. Then you will feel sense of urgency, not for the undergo pinnak. Is it? Only just to visit, not to only just to visit. Visit after that reflect to have the sense of urgency. The Buddha was born in this place. Now the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. No fight aggregate remains, something like this. Then we will also die like the Buddha. We will also pass away one day. Then you will feel sense of urgency. Then another one is, Mahabodhi Bodhagaya. Tathagato Anuttaran Sammasambodhi Abhisambodho. The Buddha attained his full enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in the Bodhagaya. Bodhagaya. Then all Buddhists should visit this place to have the sense of urgency, to arouse the sense of urgency. Then when you arrive at the place, then the Buddha appear. The Buddha attained his full enlightenment under this Bodhi tree. How many years ago? More than 5,000 years ago. More than 2,000. Is it? 2,600, around 600 years ago, something like this. Then you will also feel sense of urgency. The Buddha became enlightenment in this Bodhi tree, but the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. Then we will also die one day. Then they can feel the sense of urgency. Is it? The Buddha is very powerful. The Buddha knew everything. The Buddha, the Buddha is the teachers of human being and Deva, etc. The Buddha has many qualities. Although the Buddha is very powerful, the Buddha has, the too many qualities, but the Buddha also cannot avoid the death, etc. Then we will also die one day. Then if you reflect on in this way, then you will feel the sense of urgency. Then another one is after becoming Sammasambuddha under the Bodhi tree in the Bodhagaya, then the Buddha went to the Migadhavana, Varanasi city, where the Buddha preached the first sermon, Dhammacakka Potana Sutta. The Buddha preached the first sermon, Dhammacakka Potana Sutta, to 5 Penjavakiya bhikkhus, a group of 5 bhikkhus, and also 180 millions, 80 millions Brahmas, Deva and Brahmas. Then the Buddha preached the first sermon in this. When you visit this place, then you can also reflect. The Buddha preached the first sermon in this place. Now the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. Then we will also die one day. We cannot avoid the death. Or you can also reflect your death in the future. Is it? Then you will feel the sense of urgency. Samvega. Then the last place is a Kusinara. You know here where the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna. Kusinara. Sala group, another one. Huh? Here, the first place is a Kusinara. The Buddha, where the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna, the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna in this place. Then you visit this place. Then when you arrive there, then you can also reflect on yourself. Pay attention to the Buddha, or the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna here. Then the Buddha didn't remain any five aggregate. Then we will also die one day, something like that. When you reflect on this, okay, then you will also feel the sense of urgency. You also have the faith in the Buddha. You also have the faith in the Buddha. Then if you feel the sense of urgency in your mind by reflecting on the Buddha's taking final Parinibbāna, etc., then it is also very beneficial for you. By visiting those places, then you will arouse the sense of urgency in your mind. Even, for example, someone passed away, by visiting those places or anywhere in the world, then what will happen? Because of their reflection or their Sutta faith to the Buddha, then when they pass away, at least, or they can be reborn in good destination, like human realms or Deva realms, etc. Or because of this benefit, the Buddha asked Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka and Upasaka, his disciple, to visit those 4 places or pilgrimage. You should go to this place to pay homage to the Buddha or to reflect on the Buddha's condition. Then you will arouse the sense of urgency in your mind. Samvega is also very important. No? Without Samvega, usually they enjoy the sensual pleasure without practicing meditation. If they have the sense of urgency, even the Buddha also attained his Khanda Parinibbāna, final Parinibbāna, no 5 aggregate remain in the world. Then we will also die one day. Then by enjoying the sensual pleasure, it is useless. We are wasting our life. We should also try to escape from those suffering, not to die again or in this way. Then what will happen? Then they will go to meditation centers to practice meditation diligently, or they will also ordain as bhikkhu or siale. Then they practice meditation in this way. They will not waste their time with the doing business or enjoying the sensual pleasures, etc. Is it? Okay. The Buddha says, Sabete Kayasa Beda Pramarana Sukadin Second Logan Upabichanti. This is the Buddha's word. By visiting those places, then they have devoted mind or devoted to the Buddha. Then they pass away. Sure, they can be reborn in Deva or human ranks as human being or Deva. Or they will not fall into the full state like this. Then it is very beneficial. That is why if you have opportunity, then you should go to those 4 places for the pilgrimage. Then after that, Venerable Ananda continued to ask the Buddhas another detailed questions regarding the Madhukama, female. What are they? Madhukama, Katamayan Bandi, Madhukame, Pribajama, the Buddha, Venerable Ananda asked the Buddha, Katamayan Bandi, Madhukame, Pribajama. You know, how long shall we conduct ourselves towards women? Women. How? Then the Buddha answer, you know, the Buddha answer, Adasana Ananda, do not see the Ananda. And how to do? Then, sure, this is also a very big problem in the Buddha's dispensation, is it? Because of the sensual pleasures, because of women, the bhikkhu and women are the opposites each other. For example, bhikkhu and the women stay together, then bhikkhu's morality difficult to be pure. Is it difficult? Bhikkhu's morality is difficult to be pure if they stay closely. That is why there will be problem regarding the women. That is why Venerable Ananda asked the Buddhas, how shall we conduct ourselves towards women? Then the Buddha answered, Adasana Ananda, do not see the Ananda, do not see the women. Then the Buddha answered, that is why. That is the best practice for bhikkhu regarding the women. Why? For example, one bhikkhu is living in his kuti, behind closing the door. As long as he haven't seized the women, what will happen? He has no lobha, no raga, no attachment to the women. Why? When he stays inside his kuti, maybe he is learning pariyati or he is practicing meditation. Without paying attention to the women's object in their mind. Then what will happen? Then their mind will not be shaken because of women. Then what will happen? Then Madhukama, you know, the women stand in front of the door, But as long as they don't see or they don't hear the women is there, then okay, their mind is still not shaken. Then they don't have any lobha or attachments to the women. Then finally, what will happen? Then they open the door and they see the women. Then women be any women, but if they are beautiful, will be more problem for bhikkhu also, for men also, is it? Then what will happen? Then they open the door and they see the women who is standing in front of the door of the bhikkhu's kuti. Then both will be aware to appear in their mind. Lobha also will arise, their mind also will be shaken, will be excited. Is it? Will be excited. That is why not to see the women is the best practice for all bhikkhu. Then stay inside the kuti, stay in the forest monastery without associating or without seeing the women. Then they can practice meditation with the stable mind. Because of this reason, the Buddha answered Adasana Ananda. Ananda tries not to see the women. It is the best practice. Is it? The Buddha answered. This is the best ways to associate with the women, to deal with the women. Then dasane bhagavasati katham patibhajitavan. Dasane bhagavasati katham patibhajitavan. That law, if we do see them, how shall we conduct? Or how shall we deal with them? Then Venerable Ananda continued to ask this question. How shall we practice? How shall we conduct ourselves towards the women. Then at the times, the Buddha answer, the Buddha answer, Annalabo Ananda, very short sentence, Annalabo Ananda, don't speak, Ananda, don't speak with the women. Is it? When bhikkhus see the women, because of some condition, at the time the Buddha said, don't speak to them. Why? The Buddha says, sometimes if there's no women also, there will not be food or sentence for bhikkhu. Is it requisites for bhikkhu? Women are serving, women are offering the foods for bhikkhus. They are cooking, they are also preparing the foods for bhikkhu, they are offering something like this. That is why bhikkhus cannot avoid with the women, not to see all the time. So when they comes to the monastery to offer the food, etc., then sure, probably they cannot avoid seeing the women. At that time, what should they do? What should we do? At that times, okay, they offer the food, only just accept, no problem. Then don't speak to them. Don't speak to them. What will happen? Then they should also reflect on their mind. A bhikkhu should reflect on their mind. What will happen? One man is standing, taking the spear or the sword. Then such a mere certain alapati, if you speak to me, then I will cut your head with the sword. Or one person, by saying in this way, one person is standing near the bhikkhu. At the time, sure, then he will die. That is why he dared not to speak with this man. In the same way, if women is standing or sitting near you, don't speak with the women. You should only just keep quiet. If they offer something, food, etc., you accept, but don't speak to them. Then the Buddha says in this way, is it? Then another one is one demoness, yakini, female yaka is standing near you. Then she will say to you, if you speak with me, then I will eat your meat, okay, your flesh. By biting, like, in Myanmar, the Empali, mura betwa, is it? Then she will tell, she says in this way, if you speak me, then I will eat your meat by biting as then one female yaka is standing near you by saying in this way. At that time, you dare not to speak with the female yaka. In the same way, if women is near you, then you should also reflect on the same way. You should also reflect the same way. Or if I speak with the women, then she will eat me, I will die. Or in this way, then you will not be able to speak. But if you speak with the men who want to kill you, or if you speak to the female yakas who want to eat you, then it is better than speaking with the women. Commentary explained in this way. Why? Then if you speak with them, then they will kill you, they will eat you, then you will pass away only one life. But you will not fall into full state because of this reason. Is it? But when you speak with the female, Malapa, if you have the conversation with the females for a long time, then what will happen? Anlapa Maduka Mena Anlapa Sanlapesati Wesa Sohodi. Then you will be familiar to this woman. This woman. Then Wesa Sati Odaro Hodi. When you are familiar with the women, then you will have attachments to her. Is it? Then raga may appear. Odina chito sila pyatana patwa apaya purako hoti. Oh, if you are familiar with the women, you will have attachment to the women. Then if you have attachment to the women because of raga, okay, because of raga, then even your silas may be destroyed. Your sila will disappear. Then you will destroy your sila. You will break your silas because of women. Then may do some very serious activities with the women, or in this way. Then you will pass away. After breaking your sila, what will happen? Then you will fall into abaya, full state. Oh, then not only one life, not only one life. Then you will experience a lot of suffering in full states for a long time. Oh, because of this reason, the Buddha also says in one Sutta, in Sayutta Nikaya, with the one stanza, Sanlape Azihadena Pisa Jena Pi Sanlape Asi Visambi Asi Deyena Tato Na Jiwati Na Dewa Eko Ekaya Madu Kamina Sanlape. Oh, Sanlape Azihadena. Then, when you speak with the man who wants to kill you, he is also holding the sword in his hand. Okay, then you speak him, then he will kill you. Because of this reason, then you will die. Is it? Only one life. Then if you speak to the female yaka, then he will be eaten by, then you will be eaten by the female yaka. Then you speak to her, then you will die one life. In the same way, then when you touch the, the cobra or the snake, poisonous snake, then it will bite you, then you will die only one life. Then you will not fall into full state because of those reasons. Don't speak to a women one by one. Only one by one, no? If there are, for example, some friends like other bhikkhu, there are also some women, many women, not only one, then it is okay. But only one bhikkhu, only one woman, then it will be problem in the secluded place. Don't speak and don't stay with them in the secluded place. Or then you will break your precepts and you will also fall into full state. Or because of this reason, the Buddha gave this advice: do not speak to them, Ananda. Okay. Oh, okay. In case we cannot avoid meeting with the women, then if possible, don't speak to them, especially one by one. Especially one by one. This is the Ewa Alapandina Pana Katam Patipajitaban. Okay. Then, although sometimes we cannot avoid not to speak to the women. Why? That is when Venerable Ananda asked. Venerable Ananda is a very wise person. That is when he continued to ask another question. Alapandina Pana Pandi Katam Patipajitaban. But Lord, if they should speak to us, then how to do? Then if we need to speak to them, if we should speak to them, how should we conduct ourselves? He asked this question. At that time, the Buddha answered, Sati Ananda Upadabhidava. Sati Ananda, you should establish mindfulness. Mindfulness. The Buddha answers Venerable Ananda. Is it? Okay, sure. For example, sorry, the women approach the bhikkhu. Sometime Bhante, what day is today? When is the Upasthana day? At that time, sure, they need to speak with the women. Is it? One day. That is why sometimes cannot avoid speaking with the women. Then need to speak. Bhante, please give me the precepts. Please preach the Dhammas to me. Then sometimes they will also ask some questions to the bhikkhu. At that times, how should bhikkhu do regarding the women? Then if they don't speak, only just keep quiet without answering, then what will happen? Mugo ayam periro. Or he is deaf person. He is blind person. You know, the deaf person, then he is dumb person. Or he cannot speak everything. Or they were criticized in this way. After receiving the food from us, then he stayed without speaking. Or they were also criticized. They were criticized in this way. At that time, sure, we bhikkhu have to speak to the women. Then at that time, what will happen? How should we conduct with the women? Then the Buddha answer, establish mindfulness. When you need to speak, the women in this way. Then how is mindfulness regarding the women? Then the Buddha gave advice to us. Eta tome bhikkhve matu matti tu matu caitan upaṭඨapeta. Or if the woman is the similar age to our mother, is it? Then you should establish mindfulness like your mother. Or this is like my mother, or she is like my mother, in this way. Is it? Bhagini matisu bhagini saitan upaṭඨape tha. If the woman is younger than you, like the age of your daughter, your sister, at the time, you should also establish mindfulness and mindfulness like your sister, or she is like my sister. Or Titu matitu titu saitan upaṭඨapeta. If the girl is very young, like your daughter's age, at that time, you should also establish mindfulness like your daughter in your mind. Or she is like my daughter. At that time, the bhikkhu will not have attachments to these women and their mind. Is it? That is why the Buddha advised establish mindfulness in your mind like this. Or sati upaṭඨapeta. Or establish mindfulness in this way. Then at that time, the attachments will not appear in their mind. Then they will not also break their precepts. Or in this way, then their morality will be pure. Their morality will be pure, then they can practice meditation with their pure morality, then they can attain Nibbana. Is it? They can attain Nibbana. Then this is the Buddha's advice to Bhikkhu Sanghas to deal with the women, to deal with the women. Okay. This is the Buddha's, the Venerable Ananda's the questions to the Buddha here. Later we will continue to discuss. But now today it is enough with this Dhamma talks to you. Then maybe able to follow the Buddha's instructions, maybe able to practice to attain Nibbana. Sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sayadaw, thank you very much for your teaching today. And the first question from last time is, Vandami Sayadaw, why is it that after attaining Arhat, that person needs bhikkhu precept power in order to maintain the life form. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Why is this? After attaining arhat, this person needs bhikkhu precepts power. Why is it? This is okay. The quality arahanta destroy all defilements, so their quality is very high. The appearance is, lay person's appearance is very low. That is when they are not match each other. Is it not matched each other? That is why. Okay. Then if they become arahanta, or they should wear the dying robe, not lay person's clothes. Is it? That is why then they will be matched each other. To be able to maintain their lifespan, life form is like this. Okay. Then arahanta quality is very high, lay person's appearance is very low. That is when they are not matched each other. To be able to be matched each other, then they should ordain, they should wear the dying robe. Then they can stay, they can maintain their lifespans for a long time.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Next question is in Chinese.
Sayadaw.
Okay, then the Buddha taught many dhammas. Then they are realities. Those who have faith in the Buddha meet this one. Then they also practice according to the Buddha's instruction. Then they are also successful. Then they realize Nibbana. Then, although the Buddha preached many dhammas, the ultimate reality and the practices, but there are also many persons, many deva, many human beings, they don't believe in the Buddha because of their knowledge or their parami also. Then how we will be able to save them? How we will be able to help them? This is their karma. Then what we are teaching is in this way. For example, here in our monastery, many yogis from many different countries, they came here to practice meditation. We are teaching. But we don't expect everybody will follow our instruction. Some, they have many different purposes. Is it? That is why. Okay, we are teaching them with the loving kindness, metta. Then that is why, okay, we instruct this practice in this way, trying to meditate diligently, regularly, etc. Then with metta. Then if they are not successful in meditation, although they practice meditation diligently, regularly, then we have karuna, compassion toward them. Is it? Then we also want to help them as far as we can. Then some are successful in meditation. We are also happy with their success, their attainment, etc. Is it? Then there will be mudita. Then, although we guide them, they don't want to obey our instruction. They want to do according to their own way. Is it? Like they are still holding their wrong view, etc. They are still holding their wrong view. They don't want to follow. They have no enough faith on the Buddha's teaching, something like that. Even they are against the teacher or Buddha's teachings, etc. Then at that time, what should we do? Upekha, equanimity. Don't hate them and don't love them. Without having like and dislike, love and hate toward them. Stay with the equanimous mind. This is upekha. Okay, full Brahma Vihara is this one. What we are doing is also in the same way. Okay? Okay. If they don't want to accept the Buddha's teaching, the explanation, okay, only just let go, let them go.
I reverse that question means he used to think the Buddha as his supramundane, Lokuttara parent. In this way, he tried to learn and experience the Buddha's teaching about Paticcasamuppada anatta, and sunyata.
Sunyata is okay. We call emptiness or something like this, is it? Emptiness, void of formation, void, emptiness of defilements, etc. But understanding is okay. Sometimes when someone explains, then you are also listening to this talk, etc. Then you may understand. You may also feel some pleasant feeling, rapture in your mind, etc. But this one is not attainment of sunyata, not attainment of nibbana, is it? Nibbana attainments need to practice systematically, step by step, successfully. We call this is Popa Bhaga Patipada. Popa Bhaga Patipada means observing the morality, sila. Then practice meditation to attain concentration. Practice vipassana based on concentration, step by step, systematically, successfully. Then they will have real vipassana knowledges. Then their vipassana knowledge become mature at the end of the maturation stage of vipassana. Then they can realize nibbana. Then at that time, they will really experience the emptiness, nibbana. But before this also, they may have some different kinds of experiences. They may think this is emptiness, but they are not real emptiness. Yadhyanga nirodha. Possible, the temporary cessations they may experience during the practice of vipassana or samatha. This is not real sunyata. Yet, that is why if someone says, I have already attained nibbana or emptiness, they need to see their Obabhaga Pripada or the precedence practice before attainment of nibbana, like this. If it is correct, possible. If not, then although they say this is sunyata or nibbana, may not be correct.
And let me see, the second part of the question is, in which Deva realm or which Deva beings from them we can practice Paticcasamuppada, Anatta, and Sunyata? Means in which Deva realms he can learn Paticcasamuppada, Anatta, and Sunyata from the Deva?
That one is okay. Any Deva realms depends on the person's parami. Okay? The person's parami. If they have enough parami, they can learn any meditation practice. The Paticcasamuppada also in this way. The practice is the same procedure, the same practice, Patipatikama, like 7 stages of purification, step by step, like this. Every rounds, and human rounds also, Deva round also. But they can understand easily and quickly, possible, that is why. But although there's a teaching, Buddha's teachings and Deva rounds, they are enjoying sensual pleasure without being interested in the meditation, etc., then they were not. Any Deva round is available to learn or to realize Nibbana.
Okay. Pandamisado, what is Nibbana? After Nibbana, the person like Buddha who still know everything happening in the universe, or only doing dana can reach Nibbana? Thank you so much, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu,
Yes.
sadhu.
Any questions? That's it?
Yes.
Then what is Nibbana? Nibbana is Vanato Nikkanda. Nibbana free from the craving. Dana. Is it? Freedom of the craving. Then there's no craving or defilement or formations in this Nibbana or suffering. Then Sankhaitena Pinjupada Nekanda Dukkha, or 5 clinging aggregates. Only 5 khandas are dukkha, suffering or dissatisfactory. Okay? Dissatisfactory, etc. Then, when they really attain Nibbana, then no more dukkha. No more dukkha means no more 5 aggregates in this Nibbana. Then 5 aggregate arise because of briefly craving. mainly avijja and tanha, something like this. Is it tanha, craving? Or they are the cause of suffering. They are the cause of suffering. Then not to have the 5 aggregate or suffering, then you also need to try to remove or destroy the cause of suffering, dukkha. Then the cause of suffering are kilesa. Then you try to destroy the kilesa. For example, by observing sila, then you destroy gross defilement. You will not kill living being, etc. Is it? We take a kilesa. Then continue to practice meditations to attain concentration. When you have concentration, you can stay with the concentration objects for a long time. At that time, you also destroy the prayodhana kilesa. Then the kilesa which is arising frequently in your mind. Then the kilesa will not arise because of concentration. Then you practice vipassana step by step, systematically, successfully. Finally, you realize nibbana. As soon as you realize nibbana objects, peaceful element, okay, peaceful element objects. Just now they also says emptiness objects. Is it a kind of peaceful element object with the one mind? Or this mind will be special mind, mega mind. This mega mind will destroy the defilement. Or also 4 stages. Is it? Then if there's no defilement, then the defilement, the 5 khanda arise because of this the defilement. If they destroy the defilement, 5 khanda will not arise. Then no more suffering, no more 5 khanda. Then no more defilements. Then this is the nibbana. Nibbana is the cessation of suffering. Cessation of suffering is this one. But if you don't accept this is suffering or this is the cause of suffering, at that time, don't find the nibbana. Also, although we explain the nibbana, they will not understand nibbana. They should try to know dukkha and dukkha samudaya, suffering and the cause of suffering, origin of suffering first. At that time, they will understand the cessation of suffering. Then, if there's a cessation of suffering, they will find the ways leading to cessation of suffering. Is it? This is called Mega Secca. The 4 noble truth means this one. At that time only you will understand Nibbana. Cessation of suffering, cessation of defilement, cessation of 5 khandhas. They are called Nibbana. After Nibbana, the person like Buddhas who still know everything happening in the universe. Don't ask this question, it's unanswerable. No answer question. Okay? Then question is meaningless. That is why there's no answers for such kinds of question also. That is why sometimes no answer for such kinds of question. Okay? Only doing dana can reach Nibbana. Okay? Also 10 paramis. Among the 10 paramis, dana parami is also one of the parami, 10 parami. That is when they should also fulfill dana. Even they have no generosity, generate mind, is it? Generates mind. They don't want to offer. How they will be able to observe Tila? Then dana is the easiest one. Then they want to take 5 precepts, not to break. It is difficult. But if they have something. For example, they have 100,000 money. They can share 100 easily, no problem. Something like that. That is why they should also have generosity or generosity dana. Then in this way, they also fulfill the parami. Then later, slowly, they can also observe the sila not to break. And then another step, they can practice meditation. They can renounce the war, etc. They need to start beginning from the easiest one. Easiest one is the dana. Also dana is easiest one, but it also many different levels. For example, to offer their life, etc., to offer their wife, etc., it is very difficult. This is not the first perfection, etc. Even the Buddha to be Vasandra, his last life, fulfilling the parami, then he emphasized in the fulfillment of dana parami and Vasandra life. But not only fulfilling with Jhana Parami, usually they fulfill all 10 Parami together. Only just emphasizing may be different. Okay. So not only Dana, all 10 Parami are needed to be fulfilled.
Thank you, Sadhu.
Vandami Sayadaw, the Panchupadana Khanda and Panchakhanda, are they same? Are they the same?
No, Panchupadana Khanda is a clinging aggregate and aggregate. Oh, aggregate. Is it? Khanda and Upadana Khanda. Upadana is a clinging aggregate. Something like this. Clinging aggregate. Tanha Deiti, Tanha Deiti will have attachments to this aggregate. They are called clinging aggregate. Clingings by Tanha and Deiti. Wrong view, something like this. They hold this five aggregate with the Tanha and Deiti, grasping the aggregate, clinging the aggregate with the Tanha and Deiti. But the other Khanda is a five Khanda. For example, the Arahanta, they destroy all defilement, but they still have five Khanda. But they have no attachment to the other Khandas like this. They don't have a Khanda, only just five Khanda, no clinging, no Upadana. But the Puddhojana person also have five Khanda, but they have attachment to all aggregate, etc. Then briefly, such kinds of Khanda is called Upadana Khanda.
Vandami Sayadaw, he says she doesn't know what she has done to her own mind setting. Means after that, in her dream, she used to dream of touching the soft fur of a cat. Then her mind arises this loba, which with pity. After that, the mind become very fearsome, very afraid. Then he wake up from the dream. And after that, in daily life, he used to have good feelings about man, always think of his goodness. And after that, he knows this is loba. Then he become alert. And quickly, he try to protect her own mind and try to think of anicca, dukkha, and anatta and sunya. Sometimes he try to reflect herself. If he likes someone, then it would not help her to be free of suffering. By thinking in this way, is it good?
Okay. Anyway, if you can reflect on sentence like anicca or dukkha or anatta or asubha, then you can prevent the arising of lobha, dosa, moha in your mind. It is good. Then if you follow your mind's desires, is it? Then lobha, dosa, moha will arise. Then you will also, then lobha, dosa, moha will produce only suffering. That is why probably will experience many suffering, many anxiety, many sadness, etc. That is why don't follow lobha, dosa, moha's desires. Then how to prevent? Okay, by observing sila, by practicing some of the meditation, kinds of good reflections on the object. Then practice vipassana finally up to attainment of nibbana. At that time only, will completely destroy the defilements. Will not arise in the future. They need to go in this way.
Okay, thank you, Sayadaw. That is all the time we have for today's questions. If you have more questions, please ask in future teaching sessions. May Sayadaw please lead us in making aspirations and sharing of merits. Thank you.
Okay, repeat after me to share your merits to all beings. idame punya
idame bunyan
sawakaya
asawakaya
hodu
ahang hodu
idame punya
idame bunyan
nibbanasa
nibbanasa
pechayo hodu
pacheyo hodu
mama punya bhagang
mama punya bagam
sabba satanam
sabba satanam
ajemi
bhajemi
desabe
desabe
desamam
me samam
punya bhagang
punya bagam
labandu
labandu
sadhu
sadhu sadhu sadhu